Hello everyone, welcome to Cellopedia. This is Maxim. I was about to start recording, and of course I decided to warm up. And I thought maybe I will share a few left-hand warm-up exercises with you. And that might help you not just to warm up your fingers, but learn how to use them in more efficient way, boost your speed and precision. In the course of this video, I will show you some very easy exercises and later on a few more advanced ones. But even though today's session is about the left hand, let's not forget that we are using two hands. To help your left hand, you will have to make sure that your right hand works in the most efficient way. Let's just quickly review what it has to be done to make it work. We will play a few long bow strokes on open strings. In order to start, take a deep breath. And when you're exhaling, put the bow on the string and start playing. Let's do it together. 2 bow strokes on each string. I had to remind myself to keep breathing, and also I was looking at the bow angle, making sure that your bow does not go up and down, too close to fingerboard or too close to the bridge. I talked more about this in previous warm-up sessions. If you're interested, I will put a link in the description for you to check them out. Now to the left hand. Most of the exercises we will do today will be 4 notes per bow. We'll start on the D string and we will use just first and second finger. The main goal for us is to make sure that the second finger works the same way every time you have to play the second note, which is F in this case. It should work this way. My advice to you is to keep the second finger as close to the string as possible. Very often I see beginners doing it this way. It might feel exciting thing to do, but it's waste of time and energy. And in order to play well, you have to move as efficient as possible. You have to pay attention to the way you use your fingers. They have to be active, yet you don't have to use all your might to play every note. If you press too hard, your fingers will be too tired. You have to use quick motion just to make a string to be in a full contact with the fingerboard, but no more than that. And usually you have to find a way for quick relaxation in between the notes. It's quite difficult to explain verbally, but if you keep practicing and you pay attention to your fingers, you will notice improvement in the way you control them. Every time it feels like you can play longer without being tired, ask yourself what you've done differently. And if you're constantly paying attention to that, the solution will come on its own. Now it's time to include the third finger. We will be playing E and F sharp. When you are using the third finger, you want to make sure that your second finger is also falling down on the string. This way you'll have all 3 fingers on the string when you have to play F sharp. It will work this way. I'm trying to keep my fingers round. It's a common mistake to forget about paying attention to the shape of your left hand fingers. it's important to keep it the same. First of all, round shape will protect your joints. You will not use them as much as compared to when you will bend your joints a lot. And also, it will help you to move quicker and with more precision. It might not feel very natural at first to keep your fingers round, but after paying attention to that for a few weeks, you will get this habit. And now let's add pinky. We'll be playing E and G on a D string. When you use pinky, all other fingers have to be on the string. It will work this way. Pinky is quite stubborn finger. For instance, my pinky doesn't want to stay in round shape. In a slower tempo, I can make it to work this way, but in a faster tempo, quite often I have this second joint bent. I don't think it's a big issue, and for many years I played, I never had pain in this joint. However, if you can, try to make your pinky as round as possible, and you might succeed and do it better than I do. I feel that now it's time to put it all together. We will use first and second finger, then first and third finger, and finally first and the fourth finger. It will work this way. Did you manage to keep all fingers close to fingerboard? Or they looked more like that? Again, keeping fingers close to fingerboard will help you a lot to increase the speed of your playing later on. And you will feel as if you're not even moving your fingers that much. It's good to feel somewhat lazy. Of course, it's not laziness, but efficiency of your technique. This is what we try to develop here. And the next step is to play on the A string. The same exercise, all fingers one after another. Make sure that you check your right hand. Of course, your elbow will have to be in a bit higher position, but make sure that it's not too high, otherwise you'll get a lot of tension here, and your sound quality will suffer. It might be a good idea to check the angle of your left hand. If you start like this, that might feel perfectly fine to use first and second finger. But then when you have to use the third and especially fourth finger, you will have to adjust this angle. And this adjustment might be perfectly appropriate in a slower tempo. But in moderate and especially in a faster tempo, that might be an obstacle. Good idea to anticipate this problem, and when you start playing, to make sure that your third finger and pinky are quite close to the fingerboard and that your angle here is appropriate. Now let's try to play it on G string. And now let's move to the C string. Don't forget to adjust your bow angle. It's quite different compared to how you play on top two strings. The C string requires the special movement. You should feel that the bow goes that way, much closer to you. And with the left hand, it will work this way. You take a deep breath, you exhale, and you start playing. we are. We explored all 4 strings. Before we continue to more advanced warm-up exercise, I would like to remind you that your comments and your questions are extremely important to understand what you need. And I will be happy to answer your questions, and maybe you can actually help each other answering those questions. Please stay in touch, please write comments, or even share those videos with your friends who also learn how to play cello. And now let's move on to more advanced exercise. It's actually composed by German cellist of 19th century, Cossmann, and his exercises are instrumental for cellists of many generations in the past and in the present. We will first do it just in the first position, and the first measure will work this way. You will use 1, 4, 3, 4. Let's do it on the A string. Next part is 1, 4, 2, 4. And finally 1, 3, 2, 3. You can play each of those parts separately to practice, or you can put them together, and that will work this way. I will play this exercise through on all strings a bit later, but now I want to show you how that works if you add higher positions. If you already explored all positions up to the 4th one, we can start in the 4th position and make it all the way down to the 1st position. We will play all of those 3 parts together in each position, and then we'll make a half a step shift and play again all of those 3 groups, and then shift again 3 groups, and finally shift to the 1st position, and last time the same 3 groups, 3 patterns. When I talk about this, it might sound a bit too confusing, but let me show it to you, and I'm sure you will understand how that works. If this is too complicated for you at this point, don't worry. The most important thing is how you use fingers in any given position. And even staying in the 1st position, you will start developing much better sense of coordination. You want your fingers to work as independent and well controlled as possible. And last thing today, I will show you how to play it just staying in the 1st position but going from one string to another. it worked. My left hand is warmed up now, and I feel I'm ready to record some new music for Cellopedia. Please stay in touch and don't forget to share your comments with me. See you soon.